Hey, welcome everybody, and welcome to Athlete in the 519. This week is Melissa's Bishop. Now I feel bad because I didn't ask you how to say your last name.
No, it's okay. Nriagu.
Nriagu?
Yeah.
Oh,
good job.
there you go.
Easy peasy.
I won't remember it the rest of the way though. But thanks for coming on. And first, I just order of business. Tim Campbell, Century 21. Thanks for everything you do. Give him a call at 519-259-9999, and we're giving away a $50 Naughty V's gift card. So all you got to do is like on here, and you're entered to win. And of course, Century 21, he's also given us 3 spit tickets to the 67s this Thursday. So you just got to like. Sammy Up Richards, Windsor's #1 super fan, is on board, as always is. So before we get started, I usually ask everybody about growing up and how to go. And so you're from the Ottawa area.
Yes, Ottawa Valley area. About an hour and a half outside of Ottawa. Small town called Eganville.
Now, like, I know the show mostly be about your accomplishment in running and that. Did you play other sports?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was a multi-sport athlete for many, many years. I actually didn't focus on track and field until I got to university, really. I played hockey at a really high level, volleyball, soccer, I mean, whatever I could get my hands on and socialize with my friends, and that's what I was doing. But I think hockey, volleyball, and track were like my main focus.
Because were you always tall? Like 5'8"? You're 5'8"?
Yeah, relatively tall.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, my parents, I got to the point with hockey where my parents sat me down probably around grade 10, grade 11, and they said, Melissa, like, you need to make a choice here, because you want a full ride with hockey or you want a full ride with track. You need to decide, because we can't afford to keep doing both. Like, we're running out of time and we're running out of money. So
how much did you, like how much were you doing track? Were you always doing the 800, or were you just doing like the 100, the 200?
I started track. Okay, so there's no track in Eganville. There's no facilities. We're a very small town, 1,300 people. Ottawa Valley is a very small community. It's comprised of a bunch of small different towns, and there are no tracks. There are now, but when I was there wasn't. So I asked my parents if I could go to Ottawa, which was at the time a 2-hour drive one way, to join the track team there, the Ottawa Lions Track and Field Club.
Yes.
And so I joined that track and field club in grade 8. And so they were shuttling me back and forth.
Oh my God, you're going 2 hours to track and then probably an hour and a half to hockey and back and forth. Easily. And my parents were just like, yeah, we'll do it, no problem. If you love it and you want to be committed to it and something you want to do. Were you the only child?
No, my brother played hockey competitively, and I have 3 kids now. I'm thinking, oh my God, can I do this with all my kids? And I absolutely will, because we were given that gift. But we were shuttling back and forth to Ottawa 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
So they go, listen, you're well, and they're still shuttling your brother around.
Yeah.
So now you're 13, and they're saying, okay, pick a sport.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents do. We did it with my daughter at 14, 15.
Yeah. And I chose track because I thought that I had the best chance at getting a full ride.
And you wanted to get out of Dodge?
I did. I wanted out. Like I grew up like I was a country girl where I grew up. I grew up in fields. My high school was in a field. Opeongo High School was in a field beyond, and it's farmers fields everywhere. Like you couldn't skip class. Like there was just nowhere to go. And when I went to Ottawa, it was like the big city. And I actually, by the time I hit grade 12, I left my high school halfway through the year. I forewent my offset eligibility in track and field in grade 12, so I could move to Ottawa to focus on training full time in hopes of a full ride scholarship.
Now you're saying a full ride scholarship to a Canadian university or a American. And which is funny because so you're going. What year would you be? About 20 years ago?
2000. Yeah, 2009, 2007, somewhere in there.
Which I think back then it wasn't as hard to get. Like now it's prevalent. Like now they really look at you. Now you can send film, and it's so. But you have to keep on top of it. I remember doing it for my kids. You constantly have to keep on top of it.
Yeah.
So you had one school interested in you.
I had a few schools. I went on a couple visits. Not a lot of them were after me. I mean, I was successful in Ontario and in Canada. I had a few reach out, but otherwise I would reach out to them. And then they would call me, like once they found out about me, then they were calling our house like every night. And it was like the whole record.
Because you had a good record. I think at 14 you broke a record.
Yeah.
The 800?
The 400, I think it was. I think I ran like I think I ran 56 point something in the 400 in grade 9, and that really like catapulted my career. So I wasn't always an 800 meter runner. I was a sprinter first. Ones and twos, 400s. That's what I was convinced I was doing. And then I came to OFSA down here actually when they hosted at Sandwich one year. And I raced against Carleen Muir, who was one of Canada's best 400 meter runners now, and who was one back then too. And she just like demolished everybody. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. We gotta switch events. And I had been like toying with the 800 at that point. My coach, I think, knew that the 800 was my strength. I was just a little rigid about running a 2-lap race. I'm a sprinter.
Because it's so hard to do the 400.
It is hard. But once I got used to it and I, had my time with it and, experienced it, then I was okay with it.
So how did you end up coming to the University of Windsor?
Yeah, so I got a couple full rides to a couple schools in the States. I don't even remember how to. I think Virginia Tech was one of them, and there was maybe another one down south. I can't remember. It was so long ago. And my guidance counselor at the time said, Melissa, you need to apply to one Canadian school just as a backup plan. In case things don't happen. And sure enough, my grade 12 year, I moved to Ottawa, and I got injured. I got a stress fracture in my toe. So I was in a boot for the rest of the fall, winter season, basically into the
all of a sudden
summer.
the phone stopped.
The phone stopped ringing overnight. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, it was just like cold turkey. They were gone. And so I had applied to one school, and it was University of Ottawa. I chose to stay in Ottawa because I still had my track team in Ottawa. I had my club coaches there. And so that was like the easy transition for me. At the time, the University of Ottawa track and field team was trying to, I don't know how you say it, but they were trying to put themselves into the Ontario University Association and into the CIS or the what do they call it now?
OUA?
OUA, but what's the Canadian one? It's not CIS anymore. U Sport. It's called U Sport. So they weren't like an established program yet. They were trying to be a program. So I didn't really have, and I didn't know that going into it. And so we got to the time to be OUAs, and they wouldn't let us run. We even offered to pay our own way, and they wouldn't let us run. And so I was like, I'm out. Like, if I can't run, then I got to get out of here. And I wasn't in a program I enjoyed. So then
Did you know you were good? Like you were running against, but you really weren't competing with anybody then, really.
No, I mean, I knew I had success early, Greg. Like, I had success early. I did. But it was certainly something that, like, as my coach would say, was like ebbed and flowed, right? Like, I was good where I was at that time, and did I stand out? Yes, but I hit a point, like, when I moved to Ottawa and was on my own. My parents didn't come with me. I was on my own, and I was injured. Like, what else are we gonna do? Quebec is very close. Hull is very close. Like, I got to be a kid. I got to rebel a little bit, and I sort of fell out of love with the sport. It wasn't something that was like a priority for me anymore. And then I actually...
No, you're good at school, though. You're still keeping up with your marks.
Yeah, kept up with my marks. I knew I had to if I wanted to get into, get a full ride or get into the program.
I would always tell my kid that, so you can be good at 3 things: sports, academics, and partying.
Yeah.
Pick the right 2.
Well, I was good at 2 things for a period of time. And one of them was partying, but... I mean, I think we all go through it. I think it's days that every
gone from school, gone from home.
Yeah, so. Every kid's got to go through it. So I applied to a couple of schools in Ontario, and Dennis was actually the only one to offer for me to come down for a visit.
Oh, wow.
And so I came to the University of Windsor for a visit, and I fell in love with it. It was the closest thing that I could get to an American university in terms of facilities.
Oh, yeah.
He had a very successful team. Dennis had always had a successful team.
Is that with the new St. Dennis Center?
Yeah, so they had the outdoor, they had just hosted Pan Am's.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The brand new track was there, and then they had the indoor track like steps away. You can't find that anywhere else in Canada. So that was, and I love the program. Human Kinetics, I could get into the program that I wanted.
And program you did because you were a 4-time All-Star, OUA All-Star, 2000 Female Athlete of the Year.
Yeah.
You hold the record for the 600, the 1,000, and 4x80. Well, 4 other people.
Yes. I don't actually know. Does that 600 record still stand?
It did today.
Hey, all right.
Which I don't remember him ever doing 600s. I do recall hearing it. I'm going, must just be a new thing.
600 is my favorite.
Really?
Because it's like the happy medium between a 4 and an 8.
And
You can go all out for that. It's just straight separate.
And you got your bachelor's in two, so you got your bachelor's
Yes.
of human kinetics and education.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I knew I wanted to be a teacher, so I
and is that what you do now? You teach?
No. Farthest thing from it.
Well, okay. So I remember this picture, and
Yeah.
I don't know where it was, but I just remember it was like, it's like famous for Canada, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just a shot or whatever it was, but it went around the world and everybody loved it.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd throw it up first, but I remember that. I can't remember what you ran in this.
So this is Beijing. This is my first world championship, my silver medal that I got here.
Oh yeah.
And I started this year extremely injured. Like I couldn't
Oh, yeah.
walk, I couldn't run, and then Dennis just like pulled me out of like a grave and was like, Melissa, you need to do this, this, and this. And I listened to every word he gave me, and I went in one Pan Ams. No, it's okay. I went in one Pan Ams, and it just like catapulted me onto the world stage, and I won a silver at the World Championships that year, and it really just like propelled me onto like.
And the fractures you get, they're just like from running. You're running
stress.
so much.
Yeah.
You get them, they just kind of break.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been that picture we just saw with the Canada flag. That was like 4 years after I graduated university.
Oh, yeah.
And my stress fracture was going into university. So I was very lucky in my career not to have many injuries. Very, very lucky.
Yeah.
I stayed, like, otherwise it would have been a career ender. But I had an injury very early and then one very late, and that was it, basically.
Now, getting ready for the races, like, are you, like, you know when you have a great race, like, is it every time you hit it, you're gonna, I feel good, or,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't, it's just a different day.
Yeah.
But, like, to get the silver and all that day, was there a certain feeling you had, you're just like, oh man, I feel great? Because you have won quite a bit, right?
Yes.
You've won quite a bit of competitions.
Yeah, in Canada, yes. The world stage, that was kind of, I was still making my way onto there, and that picture that you saw was like, okay, here's Melissa Bishop, and I think that really set me up for Rio, the Olympics, really well. But that entire competition, I would say, I'll call it a competition because there's 3 rounds in each race, and so every race was kind of the same. But I got a sports psych actually right when I got injured.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, I need a sports psych if I'm going to get through this, and I have worked with her. I still talk to her to this day.
Oh, wow.
She's incredible. So I would say for that competition, there was like, what the hell do I have to lose at this point? Like I have nothing to lose. I did everything I could to be as fast as I can be on this day. Why not me? Why can't I win this? And I was very confident going in. I was kind of naive almost. And that allowed me to just be like, to put the blinders on and just do what I had to do to run fast. And it turned out in a medal.
There's so much more I got to ask you, but
Yeah.
anyways, we just touch base with Tim Campbell, Century 21. Thanks for everything you do, Timmy, and make sure you guys like on here, and you're entered to win Naughty V's Always Bar $50 gift card. Of course, we're giving away 3 tickets to the Spitfires against 6-7s this weekend, or this Thursday, I guess. So you keep bringing up your coach there,
The big dog.
And I remember him when I used to run the track at school quite a bit,
Yeah.
and not competitively, but just for boxing and that. But
Yeah.
but I used to see him there all the time.
Yes.
And he helped a lot of people.
He was there a lot. That man built the program from the ground up. When he came from Tilsonburg, and he brought Pan Ams to the stadium, and then I don't think he ever finished off the podium in like a university championship. Like he was just so successful.
Oh yeah. Now, how important was he? Like, did you have to leave him and get your own coach, or did you always just come back and train with him?
I always went to Dennis.
Did you really?
So Dennis recruited me when I came to Windsor, and we just fell lock in step. Greg, I don't know what it was, but I'm so fortunate to have had that relationship with Dennis. It was just this coach-athlete relationship where I trusted what he was giving me, and I was doing everything that he was giving me. And in turn, he trusted that I would do the work. He knew that I would do 100% effort of everything that he gave me. And it turned out to be an incredible career. I could not call myself a 3-time Olympian without that man.
Wow.
Could not. He is everything to my career.
Now, do you go back and you look at like all the coaches you had and stepped away? And it's very important to have good
Sure
coaches.
is.
And when you look back, you say, no, he's kind of not there. Or was it just always a stepping stone? They were good for what I needed, then
Yes.
so on and so on.
Yeah, and I can't say I had too many coaches. I think like track and field coaches, I think I really only had.
Well, I guess you were on your own when you were in high
Yeah,
school.
I would say like probably around 3 to 5 coaches
Oh,
total. And I never once felt the need to leave Dennis. Dennis had a world-class program.
Yeah.
World-class program, and I would be silly to have left that.
And they did. They always spoke highly of him. So we go back to your track and winning
Yeah.
all these accomplishments. You were in the Worlds, the Pan Am Games. I forget all of them now, but
The Olympics,
yeah. And so
Francophone Games.
what is? And he followed you the whole way.
Oh, every race.
So did
the
he
man
go
loved
with
to
you?
travel. Yes,
Yeah.
Dennis loved to travel. And
But would school pay for him or no? Because that's one question I have. I see you have Toyota on some of your things.
yeah, so
Did you have to get your own sponsors or?
I had an agent to help me get sponsors.
Yeah.
And at that, once you graduate, then you are opened up into this whole other world of like sponsorship. And so I hired an agent who Dennis knew through Tim Phelan, who used to run at the University of Windsor. Dennis was a very connected man, but hooked me up with an agent. My agent got me my first Nike deal. I
Oh yeah.
just finished my contract with Nike last March, so I was with them for over 15 years. Like
Oh,
an
wow.
incredible partner. And then, my Toyota sponsorship, I had a marketing agent who got me all of those sponsorships.
And so when you look back and all the sponsorships you got, I mean, I guess if you were in the States, it'd probably become a lot easier because they really.
You know what? My agent actually said, because you're Canadian, it's actually a downfall. Because you went to a Canadian school, you didn't go to an American school.
Yeah.
You don't have the visibility that NCAA athletes have.
We want you on a Wheatie box.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it is what it is. I can't change that, but I'm very grateful for the ones that I did.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even when you went to University of Windsor for the 1 year, did any of the schools say, "Oh shoot, she's back"? And did they try to get in touch with you after that?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, because I came into, I did 1 year at University of Ottawa, and then I did my 5 years at University of Windsor. And I don't think anyone had said,
Yeah.
we're trying to, no one approached me anyways to be like, hey, here's,
And then you're
at
on
the
the-
time there was no money to give, right? Like you didn't
Yeah.
get money for a scholarship, an athletic scholarship. It was all marks based.
Yeah, academics. Yeah, absolutely. Now, how was your diet? Like, so you look skinny, but you probably were skinny your whole life, I assume.
Yeah.
But was it a heavy diet, or was it just you just ate what you wanted?
Okay, but a little bit of both, I think. Well, I know actually. I always like to say, like, when you see me in this kind of shape, that is for 2 weeks of the year.
Oh yeah.
Because we peak, right? And so
Yeah.
And I don't diet at that time. It's just your body is in such like pristine shape that anything you put in is just like it just falls off, right? So you become very, very fit. And like you would see me here and at the Olympics, and I only look like that for a very short amount of time in the year. And the rest of the year, though, I mean, I never felt that I had to diet. I never felt that I needed to lose weight. I always ate things in moderation,
Yeah.
but I always tried to have like each of the food groups on my plate. And I can tell when I was hungry and when I needed more food. When I had my first daughter between the 2016 Olympics and the 2020 Olympics, and I had to hire a nutritionist in between there because I needed to put weight on. I was actually losing weight. I was losing muscle mass, and I needed to put it back on. It was just.
That has to do with pregnancy, or it's just for some reason you're losing?
Well, I think it's just pregnancy, being an elite level athlete, and just like I was just constantly burning calories, and I couldn't put enough food back into the engine. I couldn't put enough fuel in the engine in order to keep the weight on, and it was causing injuries. And so I hooked up with a nutritionist who I'd been working with before. But we worked really hard to get really like back into like pristine shape again, and that was actually the hardest bit. I was at a point in my career very early when I did have to lose a little bit of weight, but then I was at a part of my career at the very end when I had to actually put weight on, and I think that was harder.
And how much of a factor does it come to having a family and being an athlete? So was the decision like, well, I better do it now, or it's going to be too late later on, or it's just Did you got pregnant because you were married and you got pregnant?
No, we thought a lot about it, and at the time when we decided to have our family, I made the decision that I was okay to leave my career where it was. I just finished Rio, the World Championships had just finished, and I had the Canadian record. Like, I couldn't be upset. I'm two-time Olympian. If I can't go back to sport after having a baby, I'm really okay with it. I'm settled with that career. And so it was intentional when we decided to have Corinne, and I'm so happy that we didn't wait. Like, they're just all gifts. They're just such gifts.
Oh, absolutely. Once you have them, but
Yes.
I mean, when you had, what was your first name of the
Corinne.
Corinne. So when you had Corinne though, then you're like, well, I want to get back in it.
Yes, I was very much ready to get back into it because I knew that I was chasing a standard and I was chasing the next Olympic Games. And I actually ended up, a lot of women, elite athletes who come back from pregnancy and go into sport end up with injury. And of course, I ended up with another stress fracture. So I had to wait that out, but then COVID happened. And so we had to wait for COVID, but COVID actually helped me. It gave me extra time to get back into shape after pregnancy, and therefore I could compete at a higher level when I went to Tokyo. So.
Now, do you hit the weights also?
Oh gosh, yes.
Oh, you do?
Oh yes, very much. Mike Miller, who used to throw, he's a Windsor native actually. His mom and dad live here too. He was a weight coach for me when I was at the University of Windsor, and he threw shot. And we've been very good friends up until he wrote my program. For the entire time, Mike Miller did, wrote my program. But 3 times a week, Olympic lifts. We lift like sprinters, so really
it's always
fast.
squats or taking off fast.
Yeah, like a lot of explosive work. I mean, in the off season, we'll do a lot of base work and heavy work, but in majority of the time, it's a lot of sprint based weight workouts 3 times a week.
Now, how far have you run? So you've done an 800. Have you? I think you've done the 1500.
I've done the 15. I actually quite enjoyed it. I would say that if I was still training, I might transition to the 15, but we're done that. But that's probably the furthest I ran. Dennis had me run cross country the first year I came here.
Oh,
and it was, I had my Achilles were they just couldn't hold up to the training. So
and I mentioned we had the Detroit Marathon this weekend. You said I would never do that.
Never. You couldn't pay me to run a marathon. It's not in my wheelhouse to run that far. I am, every Sunday we run 45 minutes. However long that takes us is however long. How many kilometers? I have no idea. We go based on time in my world.
Right now, that's what you do?
No, not right now. At that time
when
I was training. I mean, right now, 30 minutes, I'm good.
Do you still go for a run?
Yeah, I'd love to run.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to be healthy enough to go out the door and have a run. I don't care if it's...
Yeah.
I don't need to be doing tempos or workouts. I just want to go.
And it takes you away from everything at home and so on.
It feels good to exercise.
Yeah, it does.
Just not a marathon. Don't ask me to do a marathon.
All right, once again, make sure you guys come on here. You're going to win a $50 gift card. Thank you, Tim Campbell and Century 21 at 259-9999. And we're also giving away 67 tickets for this Thursday's game. So you have a good career. And of course, now you get selected to the Hall of Fame. Are you excited about it?
I'm very excited.
Yeah?
I'm so excited. It's such an incredible class of athletes, too, being inducted.
Yes. Even the ones that are there. You're there for lifetime now.
Oh, so. I know. And it just so happens that the Athletics Ontario Hall of Fame, I'm also being inducted to, and it's happening on the same evening as Windsor Essex. I know, but we're going to be at Windsor Essex office.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have family coming down and everything, so it's going to be very exciting.
Now, do you have a speech for it? Have you made one up, or have they already asked you and you just kind of
We've already pre-filmed it, actually. We did it very early this spring, so... yeah, they have everything ready.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Do you look at it now? Are your kids coming?
No.
Oh, they're not?
No.
Or are they too young?
They're too young to know.
Oh, okay.
My youngest is 1 and my middle one is 3. They have no idea. No idea what I do.
No. Okay. So that brings me to my next question. And of course, family.
Yes.
And so you have 3 little ones.
Yeah.
And what is it? 1 to 3?
1 to 7.
Oh, 1 to 7.
1, 3, and 7.
Now, do you look at them to be athletes? And your husband's an athlete.
Yeah,
I should mention.
OC was a jumper in
Good
university.
thing it says now. I was going to say Aussie. Sorry.
Well, it's close. OC was a jumper in university. That's how we met. And our oldest is involved in sports now. Our younger ones are too young yet. But, she is enjoying it. It's a social thing for her right now. If we don't have any
We're
If you
not
don't want to
pushing
do, no, we're not going to push them. Whatever you
Sure
want to
you
do,
won't.
you do. It's very hard to watch, I will say.
Yeah.
As a parent, it's hard to watch a competitive parent. I'll say that. It's hard to watch
But
some of the sports.
and you're gonna, so obviously you played a lot of different sports growing up. So obviously you're gonna give her, and you have 2 girls and 1 boy.
Yep.
So you're gonna give them all the
Oh,
opportunities to
absolutely,
do everything.
absolutely. They want to do it. Let's try it. If you
Yeah.
can try it and you like it, we'll go for it. If you don't like it, then we'll try something else. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
We're not fussed over it.
And how long you been married? How did you meet him? You just met him at the track?
At the track, yeah.
Yeah.
He will tell you a very different story. That we came down on the recruiting visit, and it was a couple of friends of ours sitting on the ground, and I didn't address him like I addressed the other guys because I knew the other guys, Greg. I didn't know who OC was at the time, so he wasn't very fond of me from that point. But then we met at the university at the track. We just, we started hanging out because we would be there at the same time for practice.
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so I thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I was looking forward to this for sure. Is there anything you can tell kids that are running at this time and
Yeah.
how to stay focused and just kind of, to continue on aside from the injuries?
Yes. You know what question I get asked the most is the nerves. Like, how do you deal with the nerves on the start line? And all I can say is the nerves are a very normal part of competing. Nerves mean that you care about what is about to happen. You care about the result. And so the best advice that I can give anybody lining up for any type of competition is to breathe. One, like take deep breaths. You get more oxygen to your brain and more oxygen to your muscles, and just kind of put yourself back, like plant your feet on earth and remind yourself where you are.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that can happen? And are you going to be okay if the worst thing happens? And 99% of the time, you're going to be okay if the worst thing happens. And then I'm going to ask them to smile. If you smile before the race starts, or you smile before the game starts, it takes away these nerves. I could stand on the 2016 Olympic line smiling, and I was so comfortable standing on that start line because I knew.
But even at that time, you were the best of the best in the world.
Because I had worked so hard.
You knew.
With my sports psych, I had worked so hard in all those techniques. I walked into that confident. I had worked so hard in practice. Like, I knew that it was going to be good. And there's something about being confident in what you've done and the work that your coach has done and your sports psych work. Because it takes time, Greg. Like, I'll stand on the start line at the University of Windsor in May, and I'm more nervous there than I am at an Olympic final. Because I haven't had all the races in between to kind of practice.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
practice to get ready for those nerves. That first race of the year is always intimidating. It's always going to hurt. Running's not easy. No matter how fast you are, it still hurts. It's still not easy.
And do you coach now?
No, I'm not coaching now.
Okay.
No.
Do you want to coach, or well, actually, you're going to wait till your kids get older
Probably
and
when
then
my
you'll
kids get
fall into
older.
it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Not right now. They're still a bit too young, and I don't have time to coach right now. Eventually, I will.
That's fantastic. So I appreciate you coming on board. And so just remember, smile and breathe.
Yes, smile and
Feel the
breathe. I
ground.
promise. Yes.
Feel the ground through
Yeah.
your toes, I guess, or whatever. Thank you so much for coming, and I appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome.
I wish you the best with the family as
Thank
well.
you.
Thanks, everybody. And next week we have Erica Matt. She's going to the Olympics for the deaf. She's being a golfer.
Oh, cool.
The Deaf Olympics, I think
Yes,
it's called.
okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope it does. Anyway, she'll be here next Monday. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.